Hi, my name is Helen Roberts and I'm Senior Leader of Wellspring Church in Watford alongside my husband Tim. I've been following Jesus for many years now, and as a Christian I've learnt to discover that the Jesus in the Bible who did miracle after miracle is still doing miracles today. This year has probably shown all of us that our health is very vulnerable and our mortality is very real, and there's so many situations that we cannot control. And time again this year I've been reminded of a situation that I personally walked through a few years back when I was diagnosed with secondary terminal cancer. You see, I had a lump removed from my leg and the lump was tested and they all had suspected it was nothing, but it suddenly turned out to be quite sinister and was a cancer that meant the doctors couldn't give any effective treatment for, and that I was told to get my affairs in order. They were going to make me comfortable, but there was nothing they could do. Well, there are times when we come to the end of ourselves that it is the very time when we reach out in prayer to Jesus and we ask him to intervene, and this was one of those times, and he really did intervene. The cancer happened, that situation happened over 20 years ago. I am very much alive. And one of the ways that this healing was ushered into my life was through prayer. The prayer that I cried out to the Lord, also many friends of mine prayed with me and for me. And we leant into the Word of God, the stories of Jesus, and asked for those stories to come alive today. There was also an Indian pastor who was over in England visiting a mutual friend of ours, and he was over for a few weeks, and he'd said that as the Lord brought him over to England, he was told he was going to pray for a woman with cancer to be healed. But he'd never met a woman with cancer during his entire trip, and just before he was due to go home, I was ringing my friend to tell him of my story. So they came round to pray for me. We had a really amazing time of prayer. It felt so real, it felt so safe. And the thing that happened was not some miraculous sensation in my leg. I didn't know at that moment that I was being healed. But what happened was like a supernatural peace just filled my very anxious heart and mind. And I knew that God was with me. I knew that Jesus cared. I knew that he was intervening. So I journeyed from that moment on declaring that I'd been healed. And you know, time is an amazing testimony, because 20 years on, I clearly am still very much alive. Jesus, the God in the Bible, was a miracle maker then and is a miracle maker now. And if you want to get to know him, and if you want to hear more stories about his miracle love for you, then why don't you click on this link?